Good morning. Dear devotees and friends, we are studying the Yoga Vasistha, and let us chant this mantra which gives the gist of the teaching of the Yoga Vasistha. Dikaladi Anavachinna Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye Swanubhuti Ekamanaya Nama Shantaya Tejase. I salute the Supreme Brahman, the one who is beyond all qualities, which is tranquil and beyond all limitations, who is the embodiment of infinite consciousness and can be known only through one's own experience. The gist of the Yoga Vasistha. Yoga Vasistha teaches us the knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Knowledge of oneness. And this oneness, how it is all pervasive, everything. There is no two, no conception of two, only one. And why we are thinking of it, what will give us the benefit thinking of the one? Because when it is you only and there is no two, there is no conflict, there is no jealousy, there is no hatred, there is nothing will be there except peace and joy. So that is the conception of the one. This is the first. Second, philosophically, if it is not one, if it is two, some of the philosophies by mistake they always think in that way. The good, it is for the God. Bad, it is for the devil. That means completely two different existence. And there will be conflict. If the two is there, it cannot be infinite. It will be finite. Then obviously there is a part where some bad people and bad things are there. So that cannot be. Everything is coming from that one. So Yoga Vasistha, through the path of knowledge, are slowly taking us to that particular height. Almost we have completed the book. Those who are regularly attending the class, you know. Now, today we'll be discussing the definition of Samyak Samadhi. But before that, let us remind ourselves, the last week we were discussing the 4 questions and the answers. 4 questions that was asked by Sri Ramachandra, the disciple, and was answered by the Guru Vasistha. What was the question? How one's mind gets conditioned. What is the condition? Condition means this is this, this is that, he is good, he is bad, all this is called condition. Now a baby, a child, when it comes and look at a thing, the mind is not conditioned, it cannot understand. Even a little child will go and try to touch the face of a tiger because its mind is not conditioned. It doesn't know the tiger can eat, tiger can attack, tiger cannot be the friend. So like this, so no condition is there. But our minds are all conditioned. Whenever I see something, oh, is it good or is it bad? This is favorable, not favorable. All conditions are there. So it says the Rama was asking how one's mind gets conditioned. In answer, the Guru Vasistha said, because they cannot differentiate between Jada and Chetana. Jada means inert, Chetana consciousness. Our body, is it Jada or Chetana? Inert or conscious? Jada. And this table, this microphone, everything that we see is nothing but jada. The Sanskrit word jada means inert. And truly this is not also inert. Why? It is also consciousness. But manifestation of the consciousness is so less. It is as if jada or the, so that way. And what is consciousness? Our mind. We can understand, we can think, we can cognize, we can meditate. That this is consciousness. Body cannot do that. So the important thing is the mind. Now one who cannot differentiate between the consciousness and the inert, that is called conditioned mind. So this conditioned mind, and when we are judging between the inert and the consciousness, when you go to the mind and think, oh, this is the consciousness, that is also wrong. Mind cannot be conscious. Why? This is also sometimes becoming inert type. Can't think and changing also. And what is the consciousness? We say something which is not in, that is outside. Reflection is coming on our mind. So just to, once again, to reshuffle that idea of the Vedanta, what is the consciousness? It cannot be explained, but it can be felt. It is there always. Without that, nothing is living. It is there. Now, whether my mind is conscious or body is conscious, not the body, not the mind, nothing is conscious. Then how it is that we are reacting? I am talking, you are listening, I am moving, all these things are happening, how it is possible? Then it says, that's because the mind has 4 parts. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahamkara. The students of Vedanta, they know these terminologies. The mind, Buddhi, the intellect, and Chitta, the repository, the storehouse of all the impressions, and ego. Now this consciousness reflecting on our intellect, according to Vedanta. The consciousness reflecting on our intellect, so that is called ego of the Atman. Just reflecting, but still it is so powerful. Now when you go back to that, what will happen? The source of light, it is reflecting, it is coming from the sun and reflecting on the mirror, and that reflection is so powerful, it dazzles the eyes. Even then. And think about the sun, if we like to go over there, what will happen? So this is the concept, but this way we can try to understand. So one who cannot discriminate between the consciousness and inner thing, we become mad, we suffer. Why? Because we can't discriminate. Something which we were trying to get, which is inert, but we got attached to that, and then if we don't achieve that, then we lose all our confidence, and so many things goes on happening. Sometimes some people, particularly the students, emotional mind, just because he or she could not get the 80% marks or 90% marks, something like, and goes and commits suicide. And why? This is of no use. This is the unnecessarily, so this is unnecessarily we are conditioning our mind. We do not know what is going to happen afterwards. So this is, we have to understand. And what is the cause of bondage? First question was, why the condition? Because they cannot discriminate. What is the cause of bondage? Bondage means again and again we are coming into this. Because the coming into this means what? Bondage means we are accepting these life, all these materials as real. And because we are accepting these as real, we are suffering. Now I have accepted my body as real. Now slowly I am becoming old, and I have to go and consult with the doctor, and regular checkup. Then I became, oh, how it is. I should not. Then I'm afraid. I'm spending a lot of money only on my body. But even then, it is sure that I am going to die. So bondage means not understanding thing in a right way and getting attached to that. That is called bondage. The cause of bondage, not understanding properly. That is the bondage. And what is liberation from bondage? Understanding clearly. Now he is my friend, he is my the brother, he is this, he is that. So all these relations that we are having in the society, so one day all this will go away. I was telling someone that one gentleman took me to his mother. And the mother is nowadays forgetting everything. But the son is taking very good care of her. The moment I entered into her room, that lady, old lady, she was sitting in a chair, immediately recognized because of the dress, and she told, hey, the sannyasi has come into our house, and asked her son, touch his feet, take his blessing. That it is there. Next moment she was telling her son, hey, who are you? Why you have entered into my room? And then he was telling, look at this, my mother. She gave me birth and she raised me, and now she cannot recognize me. This is the truth of life. We are so much attached to our son, but the time may come, God forbid, time may come that I cannot recognize my own son for whom I had so much of love. And so many things I have done for him, or maybe daughter, her. So this is the way if we think everything is so temporary, then what should you do? So this liberation means understanding this and reacting accordingly. So this may happen. If it is not, okay. When it happens, okay. I know this is okay. I will go in my own way. I am going to help people. I am going to love people. I am going to appreciate people. And in exchange, I don't want anything. That is called karma yoga. Understanding the truth that thing may change. But still, I should go on giving. That's why Swami Vivekananda say, take the position of a giver. Don't receive anything. Take the position of a giver. And who can give? Give love, give service, give everything that you have. But in exchange, don't expect anything back. The moment you exchange, think that something will come back, immediately you will suffer. So this is the teaching. What is liberation? Understanding the futility of this world, temporariness of this world, behaving properly. Not that we should not love, not that we should not have the sympathy, not that we should not have any relation. Everything should be normal. But at the same time, at the core of our heart, it should be anytime it may happen, it's okay. So I am not breaking down. And that is the way we should try to understand in this life. So the beautiful questions that the Rama asked. So what is this? Condition. Second, cause of bondage. Third, what is this liberation? Then fourth, how to achieve this liberation. And up to that we studied and then we stopped. And how to achieve this liberation? They said, Brahma Abhyasa, terminology. And the dualist will say, you have to do sadhana. That's another Sanskrit word, sadhana. And in Meera, beautifully she wrote, sadhan karna chahiye manuwa, bhajan karna chahiye. Sadhan and bhajan. You know, every time if you listen to the Indian spiritual leaders, they will be telling sadhana, sadhan and bhajan. What is the bhajan? Singing the glory of gods. That's called bhajan, and with great love. And what is sadhan? try to achieving those qualities in my own life. That is sadhana. The sadhan and bhajan. The sadhana karna chahiye, the dualist will say. But the non-dualist, Advaita will say Brahma Abhyasa. Because there is no God. And you have to abhyasa only. What you should abhyasa? They say, know this self as one, eternal Brahman. Go on repeating. I am eternal. I am Brahman. So that is the way constantly reminding the oneself is called Brahma Abhyasa. Abhyasa means repeated practice. Going on practicing repeatedly. So when I was learning the computer, they said booting. Booting. For it took a few days to remember booting. And what is this booting? Then booting means nothing, just to make it on, that's all. But instead of telling keep the computer on or start the computer, booting. There's a terminology. And these terminologies, that makes us confused. So this is the problem. But they have to have the terminology, so booting. These and then this, that. Here also, Brahma Abhyasa. What is the Abhyasa? A repeated practice. What? Brahman. What is Brahman? I am consciousness. So when one is constantly reminding oneself that I am the consciousness, unchangeable, all-pervading, that is called, he or she is practicing Brahman, Jnana. Now, along with that, you have to be responsible for everything. When there is duality, you can blame God. But when there is non-duality, you cannot blame anyone. God, I am giving you so many costly sweets and the fruits, and every day I am doing this, and in exchange I am not getting anything. So you can come and fight with God. There is someone to blame. And sometimes people, when their prayers are not answered, they will be saying, I am not going to worship this God. I will change to some other God. Like that, they can always do. So there is someone whom you can go and either you are praying or blaming or whatever. There is someone. And this is the easiest way. People always use this finger, index finger, for anything they will say, I am not responsible. He or she or they or that. They will go on using this finger. And by that way they are safe. But those who are practicing Atma-jnana, all fingers are to this side. You cannot say this, you have to this. Aham, 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 I am that Brahman. So by that way, this practice is really very difficult. The most of the time, the people without the proper preparation, without proper understanding, when they try to do it, thinking, oh, I don't believe in God, this is the best way for me, but they become hypocrites. Why? Brahman means consciousness. And what is that consciousness? Pure, absolute consciousness, and there cannot be any stress of selfishness. The moment you think, I am Brahman, that is also wrong. Who are you? Who is thinking? So this is really, really tough. Who is thinking? The moment you think, I am meditating, that means there are three things are coming. We will come to that. This is called Triputi. Three things. I, meditating, and on that, Brahman. That means an object is there, and you are the subject and process of knowledge. Three things are there, and how can you say it is one? So Advaita means absolutely one. It is slowly they go on practicing. Do not try to divide it by meditating, accepting that Brahman as an object of meditation. So the Guru, Vasistha, is telling his disciple Sri Rama, I am not asking you to meditate. Brahma, that I am going to practice, but the duality, it is good. We are preparing and then worshipping, then singing bhajan, then doing this, that, so many prayers are there. Naturally, we think we will also sit and think, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. No, you cannot. So the Guru is immediately asking, this is Brahmabhyasa. Through the Brahmabhyasa, you will reach to that condition. But immediately say, oh Rama, do not divide it. It means the Brahman, I capital, by meditating, accepting the Brahman as an object of meditation. It is not object, it is the subject. So I am meditating on myself. Who are you? When you are meditating on yourself, what you see? You see your body, maybe your face, maybe your other parts of the body, but that is also duality. So meditation means a very difficult thing in this process of jnana. But when you practice Brahman, then, O Rama, you perceive the self alone and realize that the divinity is nothing but a mere word. A divinity is a mere word, a shabda, and nothing else. It is only that you are thinking that I am the self. Friends, when you are reading and trying to understand it, it is so difficult, so challenging. But this is the highest knowledge. If you read the Swami Vivekananda, he composed many poems. I don't know whether you have read that. Separate books are also available. All the poems are there. He wrote in Sanskrit, in Bengali, in original English. These poems are there. In one of the poems, he is mentioning ultimate condition of meditation, where only I is floating. Everything, all gone. Only I am meditating. That I also should go. And what remains? That remains. It cannot be expressed in words. What remains when there is no I? Whatever that. So this also it says, when you practice Brahman, then, O Rama, you perceive the self alone and realize that the diversity, many, and all this is divine and this is not, all this diversity is nothing but a mere world. O Rama, because of ignorance, this world appeared as an independent reality. Independent reality because of ignorance. When you look at the movie, we forget that there is a white substance at the back. Maybe a screen, maybe a wall or something. Supporting on that, this movie is going. How many of us, we think of that particular substance at the back on which the movie is going? Suppose you go when the movie has already started and you will see the tiger is chasing a person and you start with that excitement, oh my God, what is going to happen? And you go and see it and start eating your... When you go inside the movie hall, you must be purchasing popcorns. And you are excited, you are going on chewing the popcorns. You forget that actually that is nothing but some pictures. Same way, when you look at this world, those who have already realized the Brahman, when they look at the world, how they see? Same way. Not that they don't see, they see this world, but they see it in that way. Excitement is there, love is there, pathos is there, all reactions are there, but then afterwards, when the movie is over, you see nothing is there except that white screen. So the Brahma Jnani, they also see the same thing, but only the white. They know it very well. They are very much aware of it. So this is the difference. Up to this way, only we can give the example. The Rama will be asking the same question. Then, O Rama, because of ignorance, this world appeared as an independent reality. Shankaracharya, in his Dakshinamurti Stotram, Dakshinamurti is the Shiva, the auspiciousness. And that Dakshinamurti is the master, he is the teacher, he is the guru. Dakshinamurti, Murti means the image, and Dakshina means benevolent or blessed. So people are going to him. Who are the students? Brahma. And they are all going to learn. The gods, they are going to learn from him. And what he says in the very first verse, very first line, he says, Vishwam Darpana Drishya. Darpana means mirror. Drishya means the reflection. Vishwam Darpana Drishya Mana Nagari Tullam Nijantar Gatam. If we break the Sanskrit, then most of us will be able to understand. This is Vishwam, this universe. How is this universe? As if one sees the city reflected in a mirror. He sees the city, big mirror. Then the city passes and the vehicles are passing. He sees that. People are going there. He sees that. And he sees everything. The whole city is there in the mirror. In those days, there was no movie. So the Shankara, Adi Shankaracharya, he has given this example. That when one sees the whole city reflected in a mirror, same way you see this world within your mind. Is only reflection. If Shankara came nowadays in Chicago, he would have given the example of our bean. Chicago is a beautiful, it's not a mirror, but its reflection is so clear. And the moment you go over there, if you have already read the Shankara's Dakshinamurti Stotram, you will remember the first verse of the Shankara. You go and stand, you can see yourself, and also you can see all that is at the back of you in your front. That is very unique. I have always appreciated, not that I am seeing something else, I am seeing myself, at the same time things that is at the back reflected on that. Drishyam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari. Nagari means the city, the town, Nagari. So that you can see. Similarly, giving the example, almost like that, all this Vishyam that you see, the universe, the manifested, this phenomena, that is within your mind. That means it is only reflection. It is not original. It is only reflection. So hard to believe. My brother, my sister, my wife, my husband, my father, my relatives, all are reflections. My enemies and my friends, all are reflections. It's true. It's only reflection. So that is so hard to believe. But that is the truth. It says, as one sees a city in a mirror, similarly, one sees the whole universe is one's own mind. Pashyan Atmani Mayaya. Now this word, the Shankara, he propagated that word Maya. Maya is there in the Upanishad. Then the Shankaracharya, he utilized that word Maya. How you see? Mayaya. What is that Maya? This is the power of God. And what it does, it covers the original and reflects something else. Now again we go back to the example of the movie. The pictures are covering the white screen. We don't see the white screen. We see only those moving pictures. And we forget that there is a white screen completely. Similarly, we forget that there is Brahman, something, substance, on which all these movements are going on. When all these movements are going on which it is going on. So that is called the consciousness. Beyond this, it is very difficult to explain because it is beyond time, space, and causation. So you cannot give it any word to explain this. O Rama, when one can judge in this manner, then one think, if this self or consciousness alone is existing, then how my mind exists? One may think in that way. Who is thinking? I am thinking. How I am thinking? Because of my mind. And if everything is consciousness, where from my mind came? What is this mind then? Let's see how it goes. That you are asking us to think in this way, that everything is nothing but the reflection on the consciousness through Maya. There is a power, magical power. But what is my mind? How can I think? The mind also cannot be there. The conception of mind is also an illusion. This is also illusion. As long as I am thinking, so long I am not a realized soul. A realized soul doesn't think. It is his realization. Now you have come over here and you are sitting in the shrine of the Vedanta Society, Chicago. And you know every nook and corner of this shrine. And when you go back and somebody shows you a picture and says, this is the Vedanta Society shrine, you can immediately say, no, this is not the Vedanta Society shrine. How can you say that? Because of your experience. Well, you need not to see the website, you need not to see these and that. Your realization will say, it cannot be, I was there. As an example we are taking, when I am there, I know how the pictures are, how the room, how the lights, how these, how that, everything we know. So when that direct experience is there, I don't need anything else. The same way if we go, when the rishis, the scriptures, they are explaining us, how they are explaining from the experience. And what is their experience? Everything is nothing but consciousness. Then why this variety? Because we are superimposing this on the consciousness. So this much they can teach. I can argue with the person who was showing something else as the shrine of the Vedanta Society, Chicago. No, this is my experience. I was there for so many times. I know it. Even if they are not agreeing, okay, what to do? So they won't say anything. They'll be quiet. So the teachers, they say in this way. And what they will say, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna say, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. You must see God, you must talk to God, and then believe God. That's a first-hand experience. I must see God. I must talk to God. So that is one stage where people can go. How? By forgetting this world. And what is this world? Nama, Rupa, Jagat. This is the name and form, and nothing else. So then I am giving up this, withdrawing the mind from all the different forms of Nama and Rupa. What will happen to my mind? Immediately it will float to that height. You need not to do anything else. Only you have to remove all those that were burdening on the mind. Just remove that. You will face to face God. That much and nothing else. And when you see God, when you experience God, I'm using the word God, and what happens? No doubt will be there. Whether this book is writing in this way, he is telling in that way, no doubt will be there. You are confirmed, this is this. My experience. So he is telling, your mana amana bhavati. Your mind will become no mind. And Guru Vasistha used a very strong word, kill the mind. That means stop thinking anything else. What is mind? Thoughts. And if you stop thinking anything else, what will happen? Only the consciousness will be there and nothing else. So when we go to sleep, Vedantin, they always, this is the only way they can teach. So always they say that avastha traya. Avastha means condition. Traya means three. Avastha traya shakshi. Shakshi means witness. So what is the avastha? Jagrat, awakening. Then Shwapna, meditating, sleeping and the dreaming. That is the second. And without dream. When without dream, then what happens? That is the condition. I am not awake, the body is not there. I am not dreaming, the mind is not also there. Mind has stopped. But still something is there, and that consciousness. So this is the experience every day we are having, every day, everyone. But we are not aware of it. And after the sleep we are so happy. Oh, I could sleep well. But how I could sleep well? Because I didn't see the dream. And mind got very much rest. So without dream also, without the existence of mind also, there is something. So they said you have to make the mind no mind. Mana amana bhavati. These realizations makes the mind no mind. The thought that we are thinking, no mind means no thought current. And no thought current means no world. And when there is no world means only consciousness. No, yes. Negative, positive. What is the negative? No thought. So when we try to meditate, what we try? We try to withdraw our mind, stopping all our thoughts. Oh, I have to pay the taxes. Then I have to go to do this, I have to go do that. Stop that. Then only you are looking at Sri Ramakrishna and trying to see that. What happens? Thought stopped. One thought only. And then ultimately that thought also goes away. Then what remains? You become Sri Ramakrishna. You are thinking. What is I am thinking? What I am meditating? I am that. So that feeling gives you tremendous joy and happiness. It's an achievement of what? I am not going to get something, it is already there. When I reach over there, I get everything, consciousness. The stopping the mind means stopping the thought. When the thought is stopped, that means there is no world. World means all this. And when there is no world, what is there? Are you dead? No, you are conscious. There's someone told Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he constantly think of God. Maybe he has become mad. And Sri Ramakrishna commented, he said, I am thinking of consciousness and I have become mad. And you are thinking of all these inert things and you are all sane people. So this is, the consciousness is something which you need not to get, it is already there. We can give an example like this. There is a mirror and I am standing in front of the mirror, but I can't see my reflection in the mirror. Why? There are layers and layers and layers of dots are there. What are those dots? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya. All these, the desire and then the anger. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, this goes on. And when we are clearing that, one after another, slowly, when all that is clear, then what I achieve? Already it was there. Not that I am engraving something on that. It was already there. I only remove the darts. So what we should do, mana shuddhi prakarana, as Shankara said. You have to purify your mind. How to purify the mind? By thought. What is mind? Thought. How to purify the mind? By thought. What is that thought? All these things that I am thinking are temporary. But they cannot give me permanent joy. So you are bringing another thought. And in that thought, you are slowly cleaning all your other thoughts. When this thought will enter and our old thoughts will go away, what will remain? Both the thoughts will go away, good and bad. Only the original will remain. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, the when maybe that you are some thorns are sticking in your leg. In the villages what they do, there is no doctor, there is nothing. So they will take up another thorn. One thorn has entered, they will go and search for another thorn, and with the help of the second one, they will take out the first one and then throw both the thorns. They are not going to keep the first one or the second one. The same way, when the thought, we are reading the Brahman, Vedanta, the thought that we are thinking, that will also go away. Oh no, we are studying Vedanta, we are studying about the Brahman. If you go on thinking, that means you are still in a student's level. You have not achieved the result. And what will happen? You need not to think of that automatically. Again, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna giving the example in this way. One person came to meet the king, and he is from a village, poor man. He came and saw the well-dressed person standing at the door. He came and said, "Sir, you are the king?" Right? Nonsense, you are talking about this. I am not the king, I am only the guard here. Go in. So he started, then saw other people also well-dressed. They are also going. Who is the king? Second door, third door, fourth door, fifth door. The more he is entering, the more the all different type of things and bewildering things are there. And finally, after crossing the seventh door, if you go to China, you will find still that is there. If you have to meet the king, you have to cross one after another. The first door, second door, third door. The king is all like at the back. So then when you go over there, then the king is sitting. You need not to ask anyone. Because the grandeur and all people bowing before him and the personality, immediately you will realize, oh, this is the king. And similarly, when we are going to search for the Brahman, we need not to go on asking, is this Brahman, is this Brahman? No. Ultimately, when you reach to that Brahman, you will see that complete peace. And you will know, this is me. I am that. So the realization, there you don't need anything. Automatically, you will understand. So here it is telling, I am the eternal, conscious, omnipresent, all-pervading, and the source of bliss. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna also mentioning the same thing. He says, the path of knowledge is the best. In the 4th chapter, 38th verse, he is mentioning, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. Like the jnana, like the knowledge, the purity, comparing with knowledge, nothing is there. Knowledge is the best purity. So when we talk about the purity, we always think of some Ganges water or this water, that water. So when we sprinkle, we feel, oh, I am pure. We go and bathe and put on the washed clothes and then sprinkle Ganges water, and I am pure. But what is purity? Knowledge. Now, what is that knowledge? Knowledge of oneness. And whether he is bathing or not, whether he is eating these or that, doesn't matter at all. For him, it is all that like the fire. He says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham. There is no comparison. Sadrisha. Compare. You cannot compare anything. Like the jnana. Pavitram iha vidyate. Nothing can be compared with the knowledge. It is so pure. What is that purity? Oneness. I am that. And it says, Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasma syat gurute tatha. And all the work that we do and the result that accumulates, it burns. As the fire burns all the dry leaves and fagots, similarly it burns all the karma. So that is the way the knowledge. The knowledge is the purest of the pure thing. And when there is knowledge, there is no discrimination. You cannot say that is bad, this is good. You can never say that. Because for you, everything is nothing but that one. That knowledge of one. When people go to that level, they are completely different. And that's why the great soul, they come back, come down. If you read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you will find he is praying to the Divine Mother. Mother, bring my mind down. I like to talk to people. I like to enjoy with them. Constantly remaining in that. What I am going to do? Please bring my... And then he will be having desire. If the desire is there, then the mind will come down. Then he will say, I like to see him. I like to eat that. I like to go over there. That is the desire. So, by that way, he is forcing his mind coming down. And we struggle to take our mind up. And he is struggling to bring his mind down. And that is the purity. He sees everything is one. And in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we will find, when in that condition, he felt pain when two people, they were fighting over there. They were fighting, two boatsmen, they were fighting on the river Ganga, sitting on the boat itself. And when one gave a blow at the back of another, Sri Ramakrishna felt it. So why we should not hurt others? Because God feel it. Hurting others means it is the feeling of the God. So we should not hurt others. So that is the way he said. When someone was walking on the grasses, he said, stop him, as if he is walking on my chest. He is one with the grasses too. So why we keep the ashrama clean? Because everywhere the God should be there. When the devotees are coming, they do not know, many of them, but everywhere that God is there. It should be neat and clean. Because God's presence, Sri Ramakrishna's life is proving that each and everything is nothing but the God. He is the Pramana Purusha. He is the person who is proving all the scriptures. And it says that Nahi Jnanena Sadrisha Pavitra. Jnana is the purest of the pure thing. And that Jnana, I am that Brahman. When the result of action are gone, what remains? Rama won't live. Now, his guru is going on teaching, and this fellow, Rama, he, after the listening, when the guru stopped, immediately he will ask another question. When the result of actions are all gone, then what remains? What happens to the world? Where it goes? This is a very valid question. Now, all my karma phala has gone, and it is only one, then where this world will go? Naturally, he is asking, but the Muni is so patient. That's the Guru is like that. So he is all the patiently he is telling, O Rama, for the liberated soul, this world exists in all its purity, peace, and perfection as Brahman. Not that it is not there, it is there. But everything as purity, as peace. So that is the way. How to reach to this blessed condition? Then Muni is telling, we'll read this and maybe we have to stop. So ayam chit matra eva iti chintanam dhyanam uchyate. So ayam, so means that, ayam, it is me, that is me, I am that. And what is that? Chit matra. Chit means the consciousness. I am that pure consciousness. Eva iti chintanam. When you are going on thinking, that is called dhyanam. Dhyanam uchyate. Uchyate means say. Dhyanam uchyate. What is the dhyana? Thinking. What I am thinking? I am that consciousness. Now suppose consciousness is very difficult to conceive. Now I think most of us, the followers of Sri Ramakrishna, if we think I am Sri Ramakrishna, I am sitting and my cloth is like this from my left shoulder coming down, my hands are on my... So that way you are thinking. Then you forget that I am so and so. I think I am the Sri Ramakrishna. And when you are thinking that you are Sri Ramakrishna, that way, and when you are thinking that I am the consciousness, that is called dhyana. And what happened? Dhyanasya abhismriti. And when I am in that particular condition, I forget everything, then what happened? That is called Samyak Samadhi Abhidhiyate. That is the 24th verse, the last chapter of the Yoga Vasistha. So dhyana, when I am meditating, then I am forgetting everything. And when I am thinking I am that God, that is the best way. Slowly, slowly, if you are thinking that you are looking at you and you see you are not there. It is Sri Ramakrishna sitting, or the Ma Sharadamani is sitting. You can see the hand, you can see the bangle, you can see the her hair and the clothes, everything. And you see, it is only Mother is sitting and no one is there. When you are in that condition, when nothing is there except that, that is called Samyak. Samyak means totally. The Samyak Samadhi. Samyak Samadhi, this word has been used by Buddha also, Lord Buddha. The Samyak means total, complete. So this Samyak Samadhi, the complete, total Samadhi. But Samadhi, merging with the object. What I was meditating? My God, Ma Sharada or Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Then what happens? I transform into that. I am not separate. I am Sri Ramakrishna. I am Ma Sharada. And don't think, oh my God, is it possible, Ma Sharada? That is the main thing. You have to think that I am pure, just like Ma Sharada. And slowly, slowly you are imagining and you don't find anything else around you except that. The Samyak Samadhi, this uninterrupted meditation. And this is known as highest Samadhi. Samyak complete. So highest Samadhi. You know, in the yoga, they say Savikalpa Samadhi and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Again, terminology. Like the booting in the yoga also, they say another type of terminology. What is that terminology? Savikalpa. Sa means with. And Ni means no, negative. Sa plus Ni minus. Nothing is there. Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now I am thinking I am Sri Ramakrishna and meditating. And slowly I am visualizing, even with open eyes, I see only Sri Ramakrishna. But I am taking the help of Sri Ramakrishna. That image, that conception, I am taking the help of that. But Nirvikalpa means there is nothing. I am not even taking the help of any image, any word. Sometimes some people, they meditate on Om. Mostly Hindus, They will be meditating on Om, some on Shiva, some on Krishna, like that. So many. Object may be there. But when there is no object, but still you are meditating, what will happen? Most of the time we go to sleep. And then we say, oh, there was nothing was there, Swamiji, when I was meditating, but nothing was there, but only pillow was absent, otherwise everything was there. It's so difficult. Most of the time, when the people, one gentleman came here and he told, in one stretch I can sit for 4 hours. I told, that's so wonderful. But what do you see? No, I don't see anything. The practice, if you are sitting and sitting for 4 hours, anything, body, when you are practicing, you can practice and that will be 4 hours he practiced. But then what? Your character will change. Your thought process will change. Your whole personality will change. That will be the reflection of true meditation. Though I saw the light, I saw this, I saw that, and then your behavior is completely different, very worldly. Worldly means very egoistic. Then that proves that you are not, whatever you are telling, they are not true. So we will discuss about the Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa Samadhi in our next discourse a little, because we are studying Yoga Vasistha, not the yoga. So Yoga Vasistha we will study. And here we conclude with this, that our mind should not be conditioned. It should be completely free. The condition means we cannot discriminate between these worldly things which are temporary and permanent things. But by the grace of God, we are listening and hearing and contemplating and reading, and some idea has come. Shankaracharya said, most of the people, they don't even listen about Brahman, listen about God. And I have seen that. In Andaman, I have seen people, aborigines, they are very good people, so good looking, very strong, but no thought of anything except how to survive, that's all. Very primitive. Then another group of people I have seen in other places. Then very rich people and poor people, highly educated people and not that so educated. Because of a monk's life in Ramakrishna Mission, at least I personally got the opportunity to mix so varieties of people. I have seen the monks, the best of them, so wonderful. And I also have seen the monks, Geruva clad, but full of ego. So the different varieties are there. So what I should do, because I have got this opportunity to study and then understanding, then shall we not try to reach to the highest? And how? Understanding this. World is temporary, constantly it is changing. There is something which is permanent. Without the permanent, the change cannot be noticed. This is science. Without something permanent, change cannot be noticed. This is one. So condition is not there. Second, there is consciousness. It has been proved by the rishis. They realized it and they are telling it. And many of the people, after studying this, they have received the same experience also. So of course it is true. Then how to practice it? Brahmabhyasa. What is the Brahmabhyasa? I am that pure consciousness. In the beginning, we can take the help of duality, as I was telling you. We can think that I am meditating on Sri Ramakrishna or Ma Sharada or Swami Vivekananda and constantly changing, and I don't see any environment. Oh, this room I can't see my body. That way, the only one. And when I go to that is called Samyak Samadhi, highest. but I am taking the help of an object. Now, after reaching over there, we have to go beyond that too, without any help. And how that is possible? By Triputi Veda. Triputi means the three: subject, object, and the process. I am the subject, I am meditating. Object is the God or the Brahman, and the process is meditation. Now these three will become one. The moment the three become one, there is only joy. At the statue that we have installed in the Home of Harmony, there the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna showing like this. There is the two fingers, that means Jiva and the Paramatma, Jivatma and the Paramatma, individual self and the God. Now when they become one, these two become one, then the joy. So he is holding the cup of bliss and you feel the joy in your heart. So that is the left hand, he is showing that. There's a symbolic way. So two should become one. And what is Vedanta? To know that one and to become one. Thank you.
Kumar, the first question is from Partha. He is asking how to overcome the difficulties of formless meditation. How to overcome the difficulties of formless meditation.
But first is, I will ask, are you practicing meditation? Then if you have already got the instruction from your guru or the guide, it is better to follow that. And formless meditation is the highest point. So I don't know you, so I should not advise in this way. So when your mind is purified by thinking that I am that Brahman, if that is already there in a strong way, so obviously your mind will take you to that level. So the step by step we should go. And if we try to jump from the root to the top of the tree, there is chances of falling. So step by step we should go. Please take the guidance from your guru or the teacher.
Maharaj, Arijit is asking a long question. In today's discussion, you have touched upon a long due question. It is the sole convincing notion that Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. Second part is asking, if the Jagat is the reflection of consciousness, and if the mind is not there too, the perception of the holy trio becomes a mere reflection or untrue. The last part is asking, but how to accept that one as untrue, who is guiding our path to the absolute truth?
Actually, good that you are trying to understand that we have to ask in this way. I mix up because the pure knowledge that we are studying. But we know that we are not ready. So slowly I give the example of duality. So I gave the example of the Trinity or the Triputi. That means the person who is meditating, object on which he or she is meditating, and the process that he is using. So these are called Triputi, not Trinity, Triputi. Now, in that I thought object, may that be Sri Ramakrishna or Mother or Swamiji, because we are the followers of these three. So we are meditating. But then I am transforming myself into that. That is so difficult. You can try. And after that, when once we are perfected into transforming us while meditating as Sri Ramakrishna or Mother, then the next step, removing that particular form, go to consciousness. If you have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you know his last practice, Advaita Vedanta. His guru, Totapuri ji, came and he asked him to meditate on Brahman, on consciousness. And Sri Ramakrishna, enacting as an ordinary person, just like us, a sadhaka, but much higher, of course. He said, "Oh, I cannot take my mind to nirakara, without form, because I have all through practiced Mother, Ma Kali. So Ma Kali is coming, and constantly I see her in between the two eyebrows." Hearing that, his master, who was sitting in front of him, Totapuriji, took a small piece of broken the glass and pierced over there. "Now I cut down your mother. Go to Nirakara." So this is all symbolic. So this is the way we have to go. So step by step, brother, I should say, it is good that we are listening, and as the Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita said, Jnana is the highest, but we should try to reach over there step by step. So practice, as the Lord Buddha said, first Satya. Then I have to practice the Satya. I should not hurt others. Like that, high moral values. Then when you are practicing the moral values, automatically your mind is becoming strong and detached from the worldly objects of name, fame. You are not affected by criticism. You are not elated by your praising. Then your mind is little detached. When that condition comes, then practice this meditation. So please practice and you will get your own answer.
Ratan is asking, when we sit for meditation, should we concentrate on the heart or on the head? Which one is more effective and why?
So if you have not taken initiation from Guru or an instruction from your master, so I would say Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he always asked us to meditate on the heart, not on the head. Because the moment we are concentrating, the blood flow also go over there. As because the heart, the pumping station is already there, it is very safe. But if you are not already practiced and if you take it to the head, the chances of destroying some of the veins of the brain, and many of the people, they are in difficulty practicing on the head. Practice, I would suggest, practice on heart, not on head.
Sumana is asking how this pure knowledge will be dawned on everyone. How this enlightened human preach it to the society when he or she feels oneness? Question mark.
The God will be so angry if everybody becomes the Brahmagyani. Well, hey, I created this world and the game play was going on, and suddenly you have taken out the whole screen and no movie will be there. What is it? So it is not possible. As long as the God will be there, God's power and His divine play will continue. Don't bother about that. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna very wonderfully mentioned, you have come to eat mango in a mango grove, you have come to eat mango. Eat mango. So you are free to do that, pluck the good mango and eat, enjoy. And why you are going on asking how many trees are there, how many mangoes are there, how many branches, how many leaves, wasting time. So whether each and every one will realize or not, that up to them and God. Let us, about this, let us be selfish. Let us try to purify our mind and go beyond the circle of birth and death. Then it is okay.
Jeff is asking, wasn't Rama incarnated upon this earth to live a life of action to destroy the evil of Ravana?
The Rama came, as per my knowledge, in the whole Ramayana, you will never find Rama is asking us to practice meditation. Whole Ramayana, Ram never said go to the temple and do worship. Never said any type of spiritual practices. But he said, keep your promises. You have to keep the promise. When his father was trying to break his own promise, the great, his father, Ramchandra's father, Dasaratha. He then, as a son, very humbly reminded him that no, father, we should not do that. Once you have given the promise, you must keep the promise. Keeping the promise is dharma. Those who are following Sri Ramachandra, if we practice that, the whole world will become heaven. When we are accepting any position, we take the oath. A doctor, a lawyer, a judge, an administrator, and president, and each and every one, a police officer, army officer, even the ordinary husband, wife, each and every one we are taking oath. If we can keep the promise, look at it, everything will be so wonderful. I noticed when this president took over, he is keeping his hand on the Bible and taking the oath. I will look after this country, I will see this. And also in our country, in India, they keep the hand on the constitution and then take the promise. Just keep the promise. You need not to do anything else. Keeping the promise is sufficient, and that is exactly what Ramachandra taught us first. Second, the Ramachandra said in his personal behavior, he taught us we should not discriminate. That's why he went and embraced Guhaka Chandala. And the Chandala, the word that is used in Indian terms, the lowest of the low person in the society. And that Guhak was Rama's friend. And Rama went and embraced him. Can we not do at least handshaking with this type of people? Forget about embracing. Okay, they are dirty and we are with good clothes. Need not to embrace. At least handshaking, can't we? That will be the best way to worship the Sri Ramachandra. Ramachandra, he accepted all the food that was offered by Shabari. Shabari, the daughter of the Shabbers, mainly those who kill the animals and sell their meat. So that, from that family, that lady, whatever the food she offered to Ramachandra, Rama with great love accepted that. Can't we do that? These practices of Ramachandra, only fighting Ravana. All the time, to whom we are going to fight? Where is Ravana now? It is you, it is me, it is our all people all around. Those who are hungry for power, they are the Ravanas. Each and every one of us, look at it. Go and stand before the mirror and then confess to yourself. See, Ravana will be there hiding within you. Kill that Ravana and keep the promise, and you will get the blessings of Rama. Thank you.
Devjan is asking, if everything is the same consciousness, then whom shall I pray? And if I have to pray to my son, pray for my son. If everything is the same consciousness, then whom to pray and for whom? And if I like to pray for my son.
Devjani, you better pray to God for your son, and at this very moment you are a very sensible mother, loving mother, caring mother. Go to God and pray to God or Goddess, and don't bother about the consciousness this moment, because the consciousness, all-pervading consciousness and all that is a sort of that idea, is a philosophy. When the time will come, by the grace of God, you will understand that. So don't worry about this. Now with the great loving faith, and you go to the God and pray for your son.
Agravit is asking, how to know if I am on a right spiritual path, any sign, signal or feedback?
So when you are traveling in the righteous path, the signal will come. You will find the people are liking you. If you are truly moving to that direction, then what will happen? Your ego will go away. What is spiritual life? Only removing the ego. And when the ego goes away, what comes? The blank will never be there. Immediately that blank part of the mind is filled with love. So when your mind is becoming full of love, All around people will feel it. They will all come to you. Even the pets, even the dogs, animals, birds, they feel. If you have love for them, they won't be hesitate to come to you. And when you are proceeding towards God, who is love, and then removing all your ego, filling the blank with the love, you will understand all people will start liking you, loving you, and you will understand that you are traveling towards the right path. Thank you, friends. Thank you for the beautiful questions, and thank you for listening this highest philosophy of jnana. But again, I should, with microphone.
Samyak Samadhi you talked about today about yours, is it the same as
But on korichu.
Is it the same as Patanjali's dharana?
Oh, yeah.
Jnana and Samadhi is the last three steps same?
So when we are discussing the Advaita Vedanta and this Patanjali's dhyana, they're completely different. Advaita Vedanta, there is no meditation also, as I was telling, and there is no meditation because there is only the conception, that's all. So Guru Shishya, that relation is also not there. Guru will say, give me your pranami before I teach you, because the moment I teach you, you and me become same. So give me my pranami before I teach you. And the moment they say, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi, I am that consciousness, you are also the same. There is no meditation, there is nothing like that. But here, when we are discussing the Samyak Samadhi, that means you are transforming yourself in the right type of consciousness. Then I was mentioning, it is not there, I was mentioning the Sabikalpa, Nirvikalpa, Samadhi. So that Samadhi we will be discussing, but that is purely yogic path. But here, the path of jnana, there is no prayer, there is no meditation also. It is only a conception, dharana. And that dharana, they go on thinking constantly. So that is the very difficult path, very difficult path.
Another thing, the intellect and
Hold it like this.
ego is the
Keep your mouth.
You said you were discussing Swami Vivekananda and the intellect part about nothing about ego and when this is the consciousness becomes one with intellect, something about the intellect. That is it? Can we call it divine ego?
See, consciousness becoming intellect, of course. The consciousness reflecting on our intellect. In the mind, there are four parts: mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. This buddhi, the intelligence, that part, it says the consciousness is reflecting on that, reflecting the pure consciousness. And that within every being, we feel I. So that consciousness is the I. But that is not the divine. It is only reflected. And by mistake, we are thinking that I am that. Where from it came, we don't know. Suppose the moon goes on boasting, hey, I am giving you the light, from tomorrow I won't shed light. Can moon do that? It's a reflected light. Moon has no own light. The sun will rise and it will reflect on moon, and a position will come when we can't see, and the moonlight will come. Moon has nothing to do. Same way ours also. We have nothing to do, but still, by mistake, we think I. Only that I has to be removed. That much. So some other time? Okay. Thank you for good questions. So this is the way we have to understand. Now, someone has given us his condo to live. Now, his condo may be a beautiful condo facing the ocean and all that, but it is not mine. But when people are coming, hey, don't touch this, then don't do this, and okay, I will invite some people. So I am thinking that this is mine. One day, suddenly, the owner will come and say, hey, what you are doing here? Okay, go away. What will happen? So just like that, in our body, the consciousness is reflecting, and we are thinking, it is me, it is me, it is me. One day the God comes and says, hey, what you are doing here? Go away. And we fall like this, and people take us and burn. So this is, that much only we are having. So that is the reason one should be always careful. No ahamkara, but self-confidence. Not ego, but self-confidence. That reflection that is coming, I should utilize that light to reach to the original source of light. That is called religion. Thank you. Let us say Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Tatsa.